Hey guys, this is Rob with the Oil Trading Room recap for the week ending June 7th, 2019. I'd just like to show you some highlights from the room this week and some concepts that we use that can help you in your trading. First off, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. There's a risk of loss trading futures. Please look over the disclaimer before you continue. Yeah. And above all, don't use the grocery money for trading. Today I'm going to cover even more catching 50 plus tick moves with stacked probabilities. I'm going to cover the break point system, continued results. We've been covering that week after week since I did the webinar back with Shark a while back, and the results have continued to perform as expected. This week was a little bit lower, and so hopefully it'll pick it up next week with a little bit higher win percent. Identifying areas on your charts where the market is poised to reverse using 3-period probability walk concepts. 3-period probability walk is a table that I do for the room. And you can use those numbers in there to do all kinds of cool stuff, and I'm going to show you some of those concepts today and more. This is some of the comments that we had this week from users, and if you'd like to take a look at some of the reviews there, oiltradingroom.com/reviews. This is a chart that the last several weeks I've been showing you this. We get these scenarios. You can use this concept in many different areas on the charts. But when we come to this level, we know that there's a 97.5% probability for continuation. I'm going to cover some of the details on how we do that in a little bit. And then typically, you know it's going to continue to the downside, and you get some trapping and kind of things going on. You start picking up some signals going towards the target. This last week, the target was like 70 ticks away. Yeah, and 94% daily target. But I'm going to cover some of that for you in detail. This is the week, last week, I think, and so this one was last week. It's exactly the same kind of pattern. You pick up this 97.5, you're going to continue, and you start picking up these signals that go to the 94% target. When you look at the probability stacking on these scenarios, the statistics and Bayes' theorem that we use in the room, as you know, I don't mean to use a big word or anything, but it's pretty simple stuff that I teach, and you get a theoretical stack probability on these scenarios, sometimes upwards of 100%. And so this week we had the same pattern set up, predicting the market would go lower with high probability, and then we had 10 consecutive signals going all the way to the target. Like I said, it was like 70 ticks away or something. We'll take a look at that chart in a second. This trading room concept can be extended to and used in many different situations. It's well worth knowing and learning in the trading room. And then I'm going to show you some other ways that you can do this same kind of concept using probability map walking. And we'll cover that in just a minute. So this is one that's set up. Here, we knew 97.5%. We actually knew it over in here, 97.5%. It was going lower. And the target was all the way down at 51.49, which was all the way down here. All the way down here someplace. And so, following this scenario, we just picked up repetitive T2 signals. This one here trapped you out, but then win. No, that one trapped you. Win. This was actually another one here, but that wasn't entirely with the cycle, so I didn't mark it. Win. Yeah. all the way down. And we do this in the room all the time. This concept is called the T2 pattern that we use in the room all the time. When you combine that with the trap trader oscillator in the second panel here, it often gets stacked probabilities anywhere from 75 on up into the high 90 percentile to win. Yeah, super cool stuff. This is a screenshot of the smart breakpoint system. This is something I covered in a webinar a while back, and we've just been tracking it. 89% historical theoretical win percent. The week before last was, I think, 100%. Last week was close to 100%. There was a loser or two in there. This week was a little bit lower. There was some trapping. We had some really wild markets this week. Yeah. And sometimes you'll get false signaling in strongly moving markets because on the counter trends they'll fake out the order flow. Yeah. But this week 81%. We can take a look at the table here. 81% to the first target, 10-tick target, 68% to the 20-tick target, and 57% to the 30-tick target. And this is our line break system that we use in the room every day. It's in the bottom left panel of the trading room. Yeah. Very, very cool stuff. If you'd like to learn more about that, you can watch the original webinar, oiltradingroom.com/oiltradingroom webinar, or just go to the webinars tab and watch the webinar there on the line break system. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy that if you haven't seen it already. This is our 3-period probability walk table. I'd like to point out a couple things to you on this, and I'll reiterate this in a minute. In the period ending A, this is for today, in the period ending A, which is the first 30-minute period of the day in the trading room, we know that we expect a range of around 48 ticks or so. Yeah. But the cool thing is when you see these numbers over here and they're small, you can add up a couple of those and add it to the other, and it'll tell you where the market is 97.5% or so against continuing. Yeah, against continuing. There's tons of other stuff on this table I could show you, but we're just going to keep it simple. Then a little bit later, in A through C period, we expected 57 ticks a range, plus or minus 12. You add that a couple of times. And then I'm going to show you what happens when these things get blown out. So live in the room today, we pointed out that for the 3 periods ending A, 48 ticks a range was expected with a range SD of 11. Yeah. So if you take that 2 times 11 and you add it to the 48, there's a 97.5% probability extension level, or about 70 ticks. Yeah. So if we go back and look at this, 48 plus 11 twice, and we get 70 ticks. Yeah. But when the market went to 91 ticks in A, there was a 97.5% probability for reversal. I'm going to show you a chart with that in a minute so you can see graphically what that looks like. This room concept can make a big difference in your trading because you know where stuff's stacked up against you. Yeah. When you get into these extension areas, the probability for getting reversals is really high. They're going to be used in 2 ways. You can use it to know when the market's likely to reverse, but also you can use it for money management or knowing where not to trade, which can often be as important as knowing where to trade. Yeah, huge concept. And so this next one in C period, we expected 57 ticks on the table, plus or minus a range SD of 12. So the 97.5% level was at 81 ticks. And so the market went to 104. So there was 97.5% probability for reversal there. And like I said, this concept can make a huge difference in your trading because you know in advance that reversal is likely So you can use it for your money management, and you can also use it to start looking for signals going in the opposite direction. So this is what that looks like. This was the level. Once it went past here, you know, the market started consolidating and slowly pushing lower, actually coming down and tagging into the prior day's range. So we knew that this was tagging into the prior day's range, which is a common reversal point, but we also got this kind of trapping thing here. And so you pick up higher dots here. This pattern right here is we call that a readout. And then you came higher there pretty strongly. Yeah, pretty strongly. And so this zone down in here is a reversal zone. And you know that just by looking at the table. Yeah. Then in C period, market came up, went to 103, and we knew at this level that is 97.5% against continuing there. And then the market came back down inside of that and continued lower for a bit. Yeah. This concept can be extended to areas on all your charts, and you can use the table that we have in the room basically all day long to understand where these places are happening on your charts, so that you know when the probability for expansion is more in your favor, yeah, and where it's against you. Yeah. So really cool concept that we do in the room, and it's a really good thing to know when you're trading. Yeah. So why is the oil trading room method not like anything else? You probably already have an idea of that by looking at some of these concepts that I'm introducing to you. Is because we take science and we use it where it lines up and stacks up for high theoretical probabilities. Yeah, and stacking things in your favor. I promised you that we would review the breakpoint system, and where did that go? Where did the breakpoint system go? Oh, here it is. Yeah, we covered that one already. Yeah. So, okay. So that's what I have for you guys. If you have any questions or you'd like to learn more about how we do this each day, you can contact me. But better yet, just join the room. Be sure to use the coupon code and get a nice discount. It's still active right now. Black Gold 249 at checkout. Key that in, and you'll get a nice discount there for the room. Yeah, that's what I have for you this week in our review of some trading room concepts and things that we're teaching in the room pretty much every day. When you come in the trading room, you have access to me for 10+ hours a week, and in a live trading environment. It's an invaluable experience. You know, if you're thinking of taking a trade and you want some input on it, you can ask in the room and I can help you with it, or you can use the room signals and you can get clarification on the teachings and these concepts that we're using in an interactive environment where there are many other traders who are very experienced in these methods who can also be there to help you, yeah, with these concepts. Oiltradingroom.com. Some of the tools and resources that you've seen in this review here can be found at indicatorsmart.com, and I'll tell you the videos there for the indicators at indicatorsmart.com are loaded with all kinds of trading secrets. They're loaded with it. In fact, sometimes I kind of chuckle about it. But if you don't know what to look for, you might not be able to see it. And of course, in the trading room, all that culminates into one cohesive experience in getting some of these concepts under your belt and helping you with your trading. So that's what I got for you this week, guys. Have a super, super weekend, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Thank you. Have a super weekend.